My first time in this job, I cried.
We stand and open our arms and welcome kids who have been marginalized.
I believe in you.
The biggest piece of advice I'd give to a player from a scout's perspective.
I'm part of the team with Elder Kamaldeen and Kudus.
Kudus clock on one of his mazy runs. On and on he goes! A thing of wonder to seal the deal for West Ham United.
Bochum, Neymar, those places are really, really tough. So it's always good to come here to see if you can find the next Kudus or the next Kamaldeen. The kids that comes here are coming in the hard background and they are really, really tough. I see myself in them. I really, really see myself in them because here is where I normally come and play when I was young.
ولي الأمر النهاردة في أي مكان كان بيروح اختبارات وبيدفع فلوس وكان يضيع وقته هو وابنه، ولكن النهاردة رايت تو دريم بتوصل للناس لغاية البيت. بننزل كل مكان، بننزل النبوع، بننزل الكفور، بنحاول نوفر على الناس حاجات كتير مقابل إن احنا نقدر نوصل للموهبة اللي ممكن يكون مفيش حد شايفها.
The philosophy at the organization is connecting players to opportunities. We strive to widen pathways for our players. That's the driving force of all our scouts every single day.
It's a holistic view that you're looking at the player as a whole, not just as a soccer player, not as a commodity. It's a human being first, and I think that's pretty special.
The geographic spread of the team brings the obvious operational challenges, but it provides a massive opportunity because it gives us a huge footprint. Each of our markets have a different culture. That diversity means that we see things differently. The Egyptian scout might see something different to a Danish scout when he's in a Danish market. It allows our conversations to go deeper. It allows our decision making to be stronger. That diverse workforce is actually a real strength with our global group. We're sort of plus 100,000 kids per year that we scout. We take a real holistic approach to the way that we scout and recruit talent. For us, it's about the person as well as the performer. And it's important that we look across football, education, and character. Many clubs have really good scouts. I think one of our unique differences in our super strengths is all of our scouts offer something beyond simply watching and observing football. They play a critical role of the young players from scouting through to recruitment. They support their transitions. They're often there to mentor them as they're going through their journey. And most of them continue to be their biggest advocates and supporters as they go on through those professional careers. And I think that is one of the things that makes the Right to Dream Global Scouting Network different to many other places.
الموضوع بالنسبة لي كان صعب في الأول لأن السكاوتنج في رايت تو دريم غير اللي أنا كنت أعرفه قبل كده. الجديد بالنسبة لي إن الاختبارات كانت مجانية، ولكن بصراحة اللي ساعدني في الموضوع السكاوتنج ده هو جيرمي.
Trust is only built over a period of time, and when you're genuine in your behaviors, in your love and care for the scouts and the people that are part of your team.
كان دايما بيساندني، كان دايما بيصبر عليا، كان دايما يقرأ أفكاري لغاية ما يكون اوصل للحاجه الصحيحه معاه. فجاه لقيت نفسي بسافر بره، باخد خبرات بره، خاصه في افريقيا، في غانا، في كوتيفوار، والحمد لله وصلت للمرحله اللي موجود بيها دلوقتي كليد سكاوت في فريق السكاوتنج في مصر.
Right to Dream Egypt will take a lot of patience, a lot of love, and a lot of people with good intentions. It's very different from what we've been doing for the past 15 years in West Africa. We come from an academy of delivering elite outputs, and now we're testing all of that knowledge in a new market, and we want to do it justice.
اهم حاجه للسكاوت لازم يعني بالمعنى بتاعنا هنا في مصر يحرق كتير، يتفرج كتير، يتابع كتير. موضوع السكاوتنج شغلانه صعبه جدا، بتاخد منك وقت كبير. طبعا موضوع صعب جدا انك تكون بعيد عن اولادك، حتى وانت قاعد مع الولاد في البيت، حتى وانت موجود في اي مكان، دايما دماغك بتبقى مليانه بالتفكير في اللعيبه اللي انت بتشوفها. طب رايت تو دريم اعتقد ان هي بدات تغير خارطه طريق الكره المصريه، بناء العدل بين الولاد واولياء الامور. اهم حاجه ساعدتني ان انا اكون سكاوتر احسن في رايت تو دريم اعتقد الصبر. في نفس الوقت بنقدر ان احنا بنتبادل الخبرات بين الفريق بتاعنا المصري وبين الفريق في غانا او كوتيفوار او الدنمارك، تساعد لاعب ان هو يوصل للاحتراف، وتساعد لاعب ان هو يوصل لحلمه. ده بيخليك بتشتغل على نفسك اكتر، وده بيخليك تحاول تكرر التجربة اكتر.
It's been actually an amazing journey for me on a personal level. Being a part of FCN and Right to Dream the last couple of years has really made me think of football in another way than just traditionally developing players, but actually understanding the holistic approach, the responsibility that we have on a human development area. I've been used to being in football clubs where it's more on a business-driven perspective. Being a part of a community or an organization that's so much value-driven is something that's really pushed my perspective and really developed me both as a person but also as a leader. It's a unique football model because it's amazing to be in a small city in Copenhagen where you can give an international football education. To have the opportunity to go to Ghana, Egypt or the US and understand how they cope with cultural differences, to cope with adversity in another culture. That's amazing.
I grew up in Ghana, Accra, with a single mom. I have to take care of my mom because she's not working. She's blind. Like 12 years old, I became a father figure in my family for my brothers and my sister. It taught me how to be humble and respect people. If you always remember where you're coming from, it makes you appreciate life. When I started working with Right to Dream and I have the opportunity to go to some of the kids' houses and I saw how they are living. I've been there before and seeing these kids going through what I've been through before, sometimes it's really, really sad. If you're a human being, you stay there and watch these kids without doing anything. I think you have to move, you have to do something to help them. It gives me great joy, you know, to walk into their life and know that I can change a kid's life. If you ask me, like, doing my career, like, winning trophies with my former team or helping these kids, which one I'll choose? I will always choose helping these kids. My first time in this job, I cried. We went to Kumasi, a place called Kumasi in Ghana. We brought all the kids around and we have like 50 kids and we have to take like 14. And like 36 of them are going home. Seeing them going back home is really, really heartbreaking.
Everybody needs role models, and when you start seeing someone like yourself who's been through the process and has been through an academy and is now performing at the highest stage, you start thinking to yourself, like, why not me?
It's showtime!
When I first heard about Right to Dream, their mission was the first thing that came to my attention, especially when you partner that with the city of San Diego. I'm a local boy who had dreams of playing at a professional level and unfortunately had to leave my home city to achieve that. I see the community that I was raised in and the way that it could help that community is something that's really special. I'm picking up a lot of things that we can implement in San Diego. Learning from the scouts in Africa, the scouts in Denmark. The flexibility for player pathways is going to be huge. If you go to another market and there's one team looking for one specific player, I mean, it's going to prevent opportunities for a player that might not fit that bill. As opposed to in this ecosystem, maybe it might not fit the bill for one team, but for another team it might be exactly what they're looking for. So that flexibility in the pathway provides more opportunities for players.
We literally stand and open our arms out and welcome kids and societies who have been marginalized. And all of them are worthy.
To flourish, every person in this world needs sometime, somewhere in their journey and life, to cross a person on their road that stops and says, I believe in you.
Anytime I see these kids, I see them as my kids at home, and I'll do anything to protect them.
I think the biggest piece of advice I'd give to a player from a scout's perspective is to just tackle the whole process with patience. Not to take each and every moment and connect the two together is really, really important. If a player's not identified early, keep going. If a player's identified early, it's not the end of the road, it's still a long, long way to go.
Remember why you started playing football. Remember the passion. You can use it as a big opportunity for your development.
Hold yourself to a higher standard, and ultimately it's going to benefit your development.